And we're just gonna roll. It's gonna be nice. I've done so many of these. I'm like, okay, Sydney, let's go. Like, you can talk. I'll just listen. But yeah, if you guys want to start by just introducing yourselves, telling us a little bit about who you are. Why don't Niquita, you go first, and then Amberly. We'll just stick with that pattern.
Sure, sounds good.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm Niquita Hohm. My husband, Jordan, is a teacher. We have our 2-year-old Malachi, who is hilarious and lots of energy. Yeah, so I studied Spanish and ministry in college, and then for grad school, I went and got my Master's of Divinity. Some things I love board games with friends. I love reading and being able to be outside, hammocking, camping, all that good stuff. We actually just got a little bakery business started, homemade, and so we started doing the Saturday delivery service, which has been a lot of fun around Greenville these days. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute. I love seeing all the posts of people like getting their boxes and stuff. It's awesome.
It's been super fun.
It's a reason why I'm wishing I was in Greenville right now. All right, how about you, Amberly?
Yeah, my name's Amberly. My family's a little crazy. I'm the oldest of, I guess, 6 kids. We do foster care, so our family's always kind of changing, but I have 2 sisters and then 3 brothers who are adopted and a foster sister. And then I'm a social work major with a psych minor. And what's some things about me? I'm a Dolly Parton fanatic. I love her. I even named my dog after her. And I love working with kids and in missions. Not admissions, sorry. Missions, like mission work. And yeah, I guess that's some things about me.
It's awesome. So for everyone listening, the 3 of us met. I mean, we knew each other before, but we really got close on Walkabout. So little plug, go on Walkabout. It's the greatest thing ever. So these guys
Orange juice for life.
Yes, orange juice for life. So the reason why I'm having you guys on the podcast is because you're burritos. If you don't know what that is, that means you love Burrit. And so Niquita's the RD, and Amberly, you were the, what's your title?
ARD.
ARD, Assistant Resident Director. Wow.
Basically Niquita's minion.
So, do you guys kind of want to talk about your roles in each of those areas?
Sure. Yeah, so as the resident director, that means my family and I live in the apartment that's in the building and oversee the staff of amazing RAs. And basically our goal is to just try to create space of belonging and sisterhood. So we do that a lot of different ways. I try to really plug into the staff and invest in them, and they in turn are trying to do the same and create that community with their own floors. So we have lots of fun events when we're able to be on campus, like Fall Fest and breakfasts on the weekends, and what else? Amber can help me think of other things.
But Empower Women one is cool.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. I'm sad it didn't happen this year.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Well, I know, Niquita, you're a role model for a lot of girls on campus, so it's a great work you do.
Thank you.
Amberly.
Yeah. So my role is similar to like an RA. I feel like the way I like usually explain it as being like a voice between like the RDs and like the RAs and like helping that, and then obviously assisting Niquita, and yeah.
Do you have like your own like floor of girls or no?
Yeah, I have 2 floors.
Okay, so you're like a super RA.
Yes.
I guess so.
Sweet. So Burrit is mostly freshmen. I mean, anybody can live any girl can live in Burritt, but freshmen coming in, basically, they have to live in Burritt, don't they?
More or less, yeah. Maybe some in Hood, but almost all in Burt.
Yeah. So, and see, you're witness to a lot of first year experiences. And I think this class coming in is going to be really a unique class because they're choosing colleges that haven't been on campus for a whole half of a semester. So, I don't know, to start, do you kind of just want to talk about your experience, your first year of college, and how that was for you?
Yeah. Yeah, so I went to Greenville a lot of years ago, and overall, my first year was super amazing. But it definitely got off to a rough start. When I started college, the new student weekend was still an overnight trip. And my two friends and roommates were on the soccer team, but I was not. So then when they left for time with the team, I had no clue how to find people. And I ended up just going to bed early. It was really sad. But so just know you don't have to be discouraged if you don't find your people right away, because it did take a couple months for me, but I'm now, even this many years later, we're still super close with our college friends. So it will happen for you. Just don't be concerned if it's not right away. But yeah, the first year on the whole was amazing. It was great to just be able to spend so much time with people, eat with people all the time, and so really invest in that freedom that you have to just spend tons of time getting to know people.
Yeah. It's a year that you have less responsibilities, I feel like, because like
Mm-hmm.
you're not like getting a job right away or like getting involved in activities, and so it's like let's figure out who I am, who my friends are, and that kind of deal. So it is a lot of freedom compared to the rest of the year. So how about
Mm-hmm.
you, Amberly? How was your freshman year?
Yeah. Um, well, I came for cheerleading, so uh, I was like super involved with that freshman year, and that took up all of my time. Um, I also came with my boyfriend, so between like cheerleading and like juggling that, I feel like I like didn't like I don't obviously don't regret either of those things, but I didn't get involved as much as I would have liked to, and I don't know what my RA saw in me because she was like, I think you should be an RA. And I like had never talked to her. So um like looking back, I wish that I would have made more connections my freshman year and like not have just secluded myself to like the things that like cheerleading basically. Um yeah, but my freshman year was good. It
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah, cool. Um, so I mean, you mentioned it a little bit, but just for those that are coming in, it can be scary. Um, Trying to figure out what college you're going to alone, and then once you have that figured out, it's still like, what is this going to be like? Like, is it going to turn out the way I want it to? I don't know, a lot of those fears. So, what advice do you have for those freshmen and new students coming in?
Yeah, I think, well, everybody in general, but especially young people at this time are, even though we don't want to be learning them, are learning really valuable skills of being adaptable and just rolling with things as they come, taking things a day at a time. And I think that will be huge for being able to be successful in future in general, but in the college experience as well. I think my main advice things would be try your very best to, from the very beginning, find a good balance of school, work, social life, and get those all kind of in balance so that you can dedicate the right time to each, and then you'll have that rhythm set up for you for the rest of the time. Another thing would be to get to know at least one faculty in your major. That's a huge point of connection that can really set you up well for success. And then this was hard for me and something I had to like work with to be able to do, but it really is huge to step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself, whether that's in making friends or trying out something that maybe you haven't experienced yet in high school but are wanting to learn about, wanting to explore all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time because like you have all that freedom, and so it's like try a little bit, but like don't try too much. And I'm sure
Right,
everyone
exactly.
has heard that, but yeah, I think especially like if you are able to like get that balance between school and social life from the start, and then
Mm-hmm.
as you get older and you start adding things on little by little, um then it's just easier once you have that foundation of balance from your first year. So thank you. How about you, Amberly? What's your advice?
I really want to like echo what Niquita said about getting to know your faculty, because I've talked to like other friends at other schools, and like we have some great professors, like we really do. So yeah, like get to know them. I would also say get involved and like find your people, and while you're doing that, like be yourself. Don't try to like be someone else, like fit into a group. Like find a group that accepts you. Yeah, I feel like that's a big thing, like finding your identity. I also think don't overpack. I know that's kind of like not a deep thing, but that took me a while to get, and I wish that someone would have told me that from like the start.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, I for sure lugged my whole life in that little tiny room.
Gosh. Wait, hold on, one more thing. Also, get to know your RDs and go to events, because that really makes the college experience so much better.
Yeah, I feel like it's scary when you don't know anyone, and like you were saying, like if you don't have a roommate or somebody to go with, it's very intimidating. But every event that I went to my freshman year, I always met someone. And yeah, I especially remember like the freshman mugging was just, it was
so
just
fun.
Yeah.
And you can always ask your RA, because your RA wants you to go with them. They don't have friends anyway. We're losers. I'm just kidding.
That's great. So you mentioned dorm room. You're like, don't bring your whole everything. What are the essential items? What are things that like you don't want to forget?
For me, my advice is all about comfort. So I would say get a mattress pad that's comfortable. You're not going to get a ton of sleep, so you want the sleep that you do get to be very quality. Along with that, like comfy seating, maybe some kind of couch chair or whatever you work out with your roommate that you guys can fit, because that's nice to have more than just your desk chair. And then comfort through like pictures of loved ones, whatever other kind of things to have on the wall that would inspire you. So I'd say, lots of those pictures, but leave room to put up the new pictures of new memories that you make, new friendships. So it's not just all nostalgia, but it's your new life as well.
Yeah, that's good, having both. And what about you, Amberly?
My main one was pictures, so thanks for that. Yeah, that was always something that kept me going, like looking up and seeing pictures of my family. I would also say, like, this obviously isn't like a needed thing, but a mini fridge was always really helpful for me.
Yes.
And like me and my roommate shared one freshman year, and it was fine, but like just having that in your room, it's so convenient. Like you don't have to walk to the kitchen. So if you can, I would have a mini fridge.
Yeah, and I'd say like even having a mini fridge and sharing it with your roommate is plenty of space. Like I did the same thing.
Sure.
So
just somewhere to put like drinks.
Yeah. And I remember when I was a freshman, I wasn't planning on bringing a rug. And then someone was like, that can just make it feel a lot more homey. And I'm so glad that I went out and bought a rug.
Yeah. I think like extra blankets too, like made me feel comfortable.
Especially
Yeah. Like when I had friends over, they could always use a blanket. Like it's just homey.
So talking about freshman life, and talking about just, trying to be comfortable, but trying to go outside of your comfort zone. What should freshmen be doing when they're not in class? Because I feel like that's time that either can be used really well or it can just be flushed down the toilet and you never see it again. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's see what will be on my list. I mean, the most obvious one, study. You do have to spend time on schoolwork outside of class.
Wait, you have to study in college?
I know. Yes, so that is actually important. And even if, whatever time it happens, it needs to happen. Also, showering. It doesn't need to happen maybe quite as often as you used to, but you definitely still need to shower. Feeding yourself. People still need to feed themselves. I'm surprised how often I have to check in about that with people. Feed yourself. And then just all the, like we were saying, the fun thing about freshman year is all that spontaneous time to just be able to go eat with people, get to know people, like just the ways that you get creative about things to do in Greenville. So my friends would just go like play a stupid game on the park equipment at the park, but just balancing the other time of studying and doing all that you need to do sets you up to be able to say yes to those last minute requests of, hey, let's go play this game, let's go do this thing, and you can be ready for that if you've balanced your other time well.
Yeah, for me, when I'm a planner, I'm a big planner. And so, like, when people are like, hey, let's go do this right now, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this was not on the schedule. But I've definitely learned that it's so nice when you get everything done right away. And then anytime anyone's like, hey, let's go do this right away, it's like you have that. And there's been times before where I've felt like I've missed out on things because I didn't have like my homework done for the day or whatever. So that's good advice. What about you, Amberly? Non-class time.
Yeah. It's funny because Niquita's like study and my mind's going to like all the fun things. So yeah, obviously studying, but like I think like finding your spot off campus with your friends. So like me and my friends would always make like spontaneous trips to McDonald's or like hey, finding your spot to hang out off of campus I think is so important because there's not a lot of things to do off of campus.
Mm-hmm.
So finding those things. I had another one. Okay, well that's my main one.
Yeah,
if it
for
comes
me.
back to me, I'll tell you.
Okay, so your spot was McDonald's. Your off-campus.
That was one of them.
What were your others?
So there's like this place in Edwardsville, I think, that we would like drive to, and then we would go to like Ross, and like it was just so nice to like get out of Greenville, and like it wasn't like a big like trip, but it felt like it was like a vacation.
Yeah.
Every time. It was like a treat. I thought of my other one. My other one was coffee dates. Like that were so big to me. Like just meeting with like people that you don't see every day, like that aren't in your major, that aren't in your friend group. Like, yeah, that's important.
I've never, in Greenville, it's like that is the thing, like just having coffee with people, and I don't think anyone's gonna turn it down. Like people are ready and willing.
Mm-hmm.
Niquita, did you have any favorite like off-campus spots?
Good question. Off campus, we definitely went to Pokies a lot. That was our late night spot because this is gonna age me, but I'm pretty sure McDonald's was not yet 24/7 when I was in college. So we had to drive over to Pokies. So that was our place. Or just hanging out outside, like at the parks or somewhere.
Yeah, it's nice. Patriots Park is a really good spot.
Mm-hmm.
I like. What about on campus? Like, what's your favorite like on campus study spot?
For reading, like I mentioned hammocking earlier, but I love just being outside in a hammock on Scott Field or bench or just blanket in the middle of the field. I like to be outside as much as possible because there's a lot of inside desk time. And then for like papers or more intense kind of study, somewhere in the library or with study groups. I don't feel like I took advantage of that as much as I should have in college, but that's definitely how my late night grad school papers got done, is with study groups helping me stay awake to get those done.
Yeah, I remember my freshman year, all those study groups. We did not study. We went in those study rooms when we had a party. But
yeah.
I will say, like, as you get older, it's very, like, not now that we're not on campus, I miss, like, doing homework with people. And I didn't realize how often I did it. So now when I go to do my assignments, I'm like, I have to do this by myself.
All right.
How about you, Amberly? Do you have a favorite on-campus study spot?
Yeah, like the first ones that came to my head were like Joe's. When it's warm outside, when it's not inside. But then I was like, where do I actually do homework? Because I feel like when I'm at Joe's, I end up like talking to people. So I think I do a lot of my homework in my room because it's quiet, or in the lounge, Barrett Lounge. And when it's nice outside, I like Scott Field because it's usually in like the middle of the day. It's pretty quiet because people are in classes. So I think those are my favorite. Or like the fire pit at Barrett. That's a nice one too.
Yeah. And it's like when you're outside, it's like you have quiet for like 45 minutes while everyone's in
Yep.
class. Then all the classes, and it's just like a
And
herd of
everyone wants
cows.
to talk. Yep.
Yeah, but then they'll go back to class and you'll get some more time. So
Yeah. I think it just depends how much I need to focus.
yes, yes. Like it depends on assignment. Figure out what the
Mhm.
assignment is and what you need to focus, and then choose your
Yes.
spot. Well, do you guys have any last like words of encouragement for the freshman class coming in, or anything about just like even current students just trying to make it through this quarantine with everything going on?
Yeah. Yeah, so the first element of it, just for thinking about the college experience in general, when it's back to the normal college experience, is to soak up the beauty of that time. Because now being on the other side of it, I won't say it's the best time of your life, because I feel like people say that and that's just cheapens the rest of your life, I feel like, but it is a unique time and no other time of your life will look exactly like that. Just like we mentioned, the ability to live so close to friends and just be able to do anything with them at any time is great. Um, so yeah, taking advantage of that time when we're back together. And for students getting through right now, just to have so much grace with yourself, because we are all like completely struggling with it and floundering, and there's an existential crisis every other day. So just have grace with yourself and be able to just take it one day at a time to the best of your ability, and um, yeah, be able to show love to yourself, and being focused outwards and love to other people who need it at this time too is, I think, what'll help get you through.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Thank you. How about you, Amberly?
Yeah. I would also say what Niquita said with sorry, I lost my train of thought. There's people walking upstairs. Okay, never
The
mind.
joys of being at home.
Yes, oh my gosh, it's so hard to concentrate. Okay, I'll just say my own thought. I would say be yourself, no matter what, and find your group, like I already said that. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Give yourself grace. That's what I was gonna say. Give yourself grace, give other people grace. Be understanding during everything.
Yeah, no, that's very important during this time, especially. So
Mm-hmm.
I think usually our society is very like, you have to make decisions, like, let's go, 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 go.
Yeah.
We live in such a fast-paced world that right now it's kind of letting us slow down a little bit. So I think we can really rest in that and slow down. So it's really good. Well, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. This was good. I hope freshmen and transfers coming in can really use this and your guys' advice, because your real life experience is something to be cherished. So thank you.
Thanks, Sid.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
Bye.